The Minnesota Vikings will travel to Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions, the very fierce Detroit Lions, this Sunday, 12 o'clock on CBS. 12 o'clock game. I mean, we don't see very many, CBS game. We don't see very many CBS games. This is Minnesota Vikings are 6.5-point favorites in this matchup. 6.5-point favorites on an away game you don't see very often unless you're playing the Detroit Lions, who are winless at 0-10-1. After this game, I believe the Detroit Lions will be eliminated from the playoffs and we'll be adding a new tally mark to there. I think because if the Detroit Lions win out the rest of their games and a team like Washington loses out or Vikings lose out, we will still be making the playoffs over them. So as a whole, great job by the Detroit Lions to tank again another season to try to get a top 3 overall pick. Minnesota Vikings will travel to Detroit to take on the Lions on week 13. Should be a lot more comfortable of a win than in the past. But again, last time we played the Lions, it was also not a comfortable win, but hopefully we can see a different story in this matchup. Wednesday injury report for the Minnesota Vikings. Again, a long list of injuries on this Vikings roster. We have a longer list of injuries than our Minnesota Winters at this point in the season. Minnesota Vikings COVID continues to run through our locker room. Patrick Peterson has been ruled out with COVID, corner that we hate to see go out. Dalvin Cook, again, he's already ruled out. A running back with shoulder injury went down in the 49ers game. Expected to miss 2 to 6 weeks with this Vikings team. Should be back for the playoffs, assuming Vikings make the playoffs. Michael Pierce is questionable to play. Michael Pierce is set to return from IR. Love to see that happen, especially going against the Detroit Lions, who can run the ball. Going up against the Detroit Lions would be great to see Michael Pierce back at nose tackle. Anthony Barr did not participate during Wednesday's practice with a knee injury and hamstring. Once again, Anthony Barr doesn't participate in any practices, but he should be back by the game. Christian Darrisaw, starting left tackle, did not participate during Wednesday's practice with an ankle injury. Hope to see him back. I don't want to see Rashad Hill going up against Michael Brockers. Ryan Connolly did not participate during Wednesday's practice with a quad injury. Ryan Connolly, Minnesota native, would step in for Anthony Barr if he doesn't play. Cam Bynum, hate to see it, did not participate during Wednesday's practice with an ankle injury. Would like to see more of Cam Bynum. Mackenzie Alexander, player I've hated so far in this Vikings team, was a limited participant during Wednesday's practice with a rib injury. Defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson was a limited participant with a knee injury. Nick Vigil, limited participant, rib. Eric Kendricks, Bashad Breeland, Armon Watts, and so forth. A lot of core players in this Vikings defense were all limited on Wednesday's practice, but are questionable to play and should play Sunday's game against the Detroit Lions. We do need Eric Kendricks to play. I understand this is the Detroit Lions, but we need Eric Kendricks to play. Why? Because you might forget that they have a good run game and they have TJ Hawkinson. What is typically Eric Kendricks' role? Stopping the run and stopping those big tight ends. We need Eric Kendricks to play in this game. Hands down, he should be a key factor on this Vikings defense and should be able to make the Detroit Lions offense one-dimensional. Now, with the notable Lions injuries, Trey Flowers, a great pass rusher, did not participate during Wednesday's practice with a knee injury. Kahadrel Hodge had an illness and didn't participate. Kahadrel Hodge, I might be saying that wrong. This is a wide receiver who's been getting a lot of play time. If you're a wide receiver in the NFL who is like a no-name receiver, you want to play with the Lions. You do, because you're going to get a lot of play time. A lot of these no-name receivers are out there with the Lions. Bobby Price, obviously we see a lot of Bobby Price, did not participate in Wednesday's practice with a shoulder injury. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, limited participant with a... I don't even have his injury out there. Looks like it was a shoulder injury, so he probably won't play. Penei Sewell, illness. DeAndre Swift, shoulder injury, did not participate. Now, DeAndre Swift, I don't know how he's not ruled out yet. If you watched on the Thanksgiving game when DeAndre Swift went down, absolutely not. He's not going to play in this game, especially when you have a great running back backup like Jamal Williams. We've seen a lot of Jamal Williams in the NFC North in the past. Trinity Benson, another wide receiver who gets a lot of play time because it's the Lions. Limited participant with a knee injury. And also Michael Brockers, a great defensive end, was a limited participant with a knee injury. So, like I said with the Lions, you might see, I didn't bash on all the Lions players here. They have a solid pass rush and a pretty okay run game. As a whole, that's not going to win you very many games. The Detroit Lions are better than 0-10-1. They are. They might be the worst team in the league, but they're better than 0-10-1. And they did tie against the Steelers. Obviously, Vikings, we needed a long field goal. Ravens, top of the AFC right now, needed a game-winning field goal. Detroit Lions are just going to keep being Detroit Lions is what I'm saying here. They're just going to keep being Detroit Lions and either get blown out by a team or lose on something, on a game that they should have won. The Detroit Lions offense ranks in the 30s and their defense ranks in the 20s. So you can see why they're 0-10-1 right there. Their offense ranks in the 30s. That's the key one right there. And it's not like they don't have great players in the offense. I mean, TJ Hawkinson, top 3 tight end in the league. DeAndre Swift is a solid second-year running back. As a matter of fact, I'd say he's the second best second-year running back behind Jonathan Taylor. I mean, there's a huge gap there, but behind Jonathan Taylor right now, he's the second best second-year running back. And then they have Jamal Williams as a backup running back as well. Thing is, if you stop the run and make them a one-dimensional offense, they will make mistakes. Why? Because Jared Goff is starting under center. Because Jared Goff, a veteran quarterback, will make mistakes if you make their offense one-dimensional and they cannot run the ball. Starting number 1, how can the Vikings win this game? It's the same number 1 every week. Pass the dang ball. You know how the Colts right now, they wear the hats, the fans all wear the hats, even the players are wearing the hats that say run the damn ball because they don't run the ball and they have Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. Yeah, well, we're the opposite. We have got to stop running the ball and revolve around the pass game. I don't care that it's the Lions. I understand Dalvin Cook is not even playing in this game, but even with Alexander Mattison, who had a great day against the Lions the last time we played them, I mean, you have Kanate Nwangu, great backup running back, rookie, already has 2 return touchdowns, 99-yard return touchdowns, is also a great backup running back. As a whole, you got to pass the ball. You don't want to make the same mistakes you made against the Lions the last time you played them. You want to pass the dang ball. And if there was hats that were like that with the Vikings, we should make them because I would 100% wear that. 100%. The same way the Colts are doing, but flip-flop. We're not going to say pass the damn ball, or we're not going to say run the damn ball. We'd say pass the damn ball because that is what the Vikings need to do at this point. Number 2 on this list, force the Lions to pass. Like I said, you can make the Lions a one-dimensional offense. You just got to stop that run. Now, it sounds that simple, but it's not with the Vikings defense because we have a defense that cannot tackle. We have a defense that has Eric Kendricks, Armon Watts, some of the great run stoppers who cannot take down the run game, who can't make it one-dimensional. In this game, it should be different. Why? Because their offensive line is without a lot of their core starters. I mean, Taylor Decker is back, but as a whole, Frank Ragnow's not going to be there. Penei Sewell might not play. Their first-round draft pick drafted him in like the top 7. He's starting at right tackle and played some game at left tackle to step in for Decker. As a whole, you can stop this run. The Minnesota Vikings can, especially with Michael Pierce back. You should be able to stop this run up the middle at the very least. They don't even have they don't have DeAndre Swift there. You just have to stop Jamal Williams at this point. If you force the Lions to pass, they will be the Detroit Lions. What does that mean? They're going to make mistakes. They will. And you have great players who can turn the ball over. I mean, you have an excellent safety duo. You have some solid corners. Now, Patrick Peterson is out, so I guess our corners suck without Patrick Peterson. But still, I mean, you look at the receiving cores. Your corners should have a good game. Next up, you got to blitz Anthony Barr. You got to force the Lions to pass, number 1. And you got to blitz because I have no faith in this Vikings defensive line being able to get to the passer. At this point in the season, we can't rush the passer without blitzing. Danielle Hunter's injured. Everson Griffin is out. Now, I hope Everson Griffin's doing great, but again, he's out. Right now, our defensive ends are looking terrible. I mean, DJ Wadham's okay. Sheldon Richardson didn't look good there. Patrick Jones hasn't looked as great so far this season. And then up the middle, Armon Watts is making a little bit of an impact. I mean, we have Dalvin Tomlinson, might not play this week with COVID as well. So our defensive front is not good, is what I'm saying here. Armon Watts might be great. Our defensive line is not good. If you want to get to Jared Goff, you got to blitz. Who should you blitz more of? Anthony Barr, because he is a pass rusher. And the Minnesota Vikings, Mike Zimmer, Andre Patterson, Adam Zimmer are not using him as such. They're trying to play him into coverage. You don't want to use Anthony Barr against TJ Hawkinson all game long. You want to use Anthony Barr as that see-ball, hit-ball linebacker because that is what you used him for the first couple of years and why he made 2 Pro Bowls and was first-team All-Pro. Why? Because he is a pass rusher and the Minnesota Vikings still do not understand that. And why Anthony Barr won't return with the team is because we don't respect him as a pass rusher. Blitz Anthony Barr. I know it's the Lions. You got to blitz Anthony Barr. Get to that passer because that's what he's good for. And then number 4, block the blitz. Just like the Minnesota Vikings, where they like to blitz to get to the passer, so do the Lions. Because Lions have a solid pass rush. I mean, with Charles Harris, who they just took off of free agency from the Lions, obviously Trey Flowers. I mean, he's been with them for some time. Trey Flowers, I kind of feel bad for him, but he gets a lot of play time, racks up sacks. They also have that Julian Akwara, the second-year linebacker as well. So they have some solid pass rushers when they're blitzing. Whose job is it to stop the blitz? Typically Dalvin Cook, who's done an okay job. Now we're going to have to start Alexander Mattison, who has been terrible at blocking the blitz. Now we give Alexander Mattison a little bit too much love here because Alexander Mattison is not a good blocker, and he hasn't been so far this year. Typically, on a play action pass, Alexander Madison finds the open field. That shouldn't be your number one goal. Finding the open field where Kirk Cousins just checks the ball down on third down, not the best, not the ideal situation you want to be in. You want to block the blitz so Kirk Cousins has enough time to take shots down the field. Block the blitz. Charles Harris is going to be rushing off the edge. If Trey Flowers plays, he'll be also rushing the passer all game long. You want your running backs, Alexander Madison, Kane Nwangu, and maybe AJ Rose. I really want to see AJ Rose play because he looked great in the preseason. Maybe AJ Rose is activated and will play in this game. Would love to see that happen, to see AJ Rose out there. Hopefully he can play. Number 5, bench any cornerback who looks bad. I've talked about it a lot, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here because I have every week been so mad at these Vikings corners. They have played so bad. And why am I mad? I'm not even just mad that they are bad. Like, that's not the situation here that I'm mad about. I'm mad that we have players on our bench who are better. Mackenzie Alexander all year long has been awful. Bashaud Breeland, first half of the season looked terrible. Recently hasn't looked as bad as he did in the first half of the season. If I see Mackenzie Alexander and Bashaud Breeland have a bad game against the Detroit Lions wideouts, you got to bench them. They have to go. Why? Because we have Cameron Dantzler, Chris Boyd, Cam Dantzler all on the bench right now. Did I say Cam Dantzler twice? I meant to say Cam Bynum, the last one. Cam Bynum is a converted safety. You can run 3 safeties out there. Why? Because you're the Minnesota Vikings defense who has Mackenzie Alexander playing over half of the snaps. Why? Because you're Minnesota Vikings defense who has Bashaud Breeland making all of his opposing wideouts look like Jerry Rice. Minnesota Vikings. If Mackenzie Alexander and Bashaud Breeland have a bad game, you have to bench them. Because this tears me inside, the fact that Mike Zimmer continues to play these guys. And like I said previously, the best head coaches put their players in the doghouse, is what they do. If you fumble the ball, you miss an easy tackle, a wide open solo tackle, you get put in the doghouse. That's what the best coaches do. Mike Zimmer doesn't do that. He plays favorites. Mike Zimmer loves Mackenzie Alexander. Why? Because Mackenzie Alexander had been with the team a long time. So he'll just play Mackenzie Alexander. He just plays people based off of years they've been in the NFL and not based off of performance. You are going up against the Detroit Lions offense that has Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Josh Reynolds as their starting 3 receivers. I'm going to repeat that real quick. Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Josh Reynolds as their starting 3 receivers. If you don't know any of those 3 players, that's the whole point. I mean, Amon-Ra has been playing great. The other 2 don't look good at all. I mean, Quintez Cephas is now on IR. He's another breakout candidate for them. As a whole, that Detroit Lions pass game is god-awful. And you should not have a bad game against it. Take away TJ Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift. I'm talking about their wideouts here. They are terrible. Minnesota Vikings, defense. If you're going to have a good day, it has to be against the Detroit Lions offense, who ranks 30s in the NFL. Minnesota Vikings defense, I don't want to see the same thing I saw against the 49ers, against the Detroit Lions, because I will be mad. And on Monday, I would be on another rant if we see Mackenzie Alexander give up a 60-some yard touchdown to Josh Reynolds, whoever that guy is. I mean, I know who he is, but I'm saying that in the fact that he's not good enough to be a starter. If I see that happen, Mackenzie Alexander's got to be cut the next day. I'm sorry. I'm so tired of seeing this guy play. But with that being said, DeAndre Swift, I mean, he's not going to play, but again, he's been utilized in the pass game well. TJ Hawkinson, top 3 tight end in the league. It's not like their entire pass game is bad. I'm talking about their wideouts here, and these corners have to be benched if they look bad against the Detroit Lions. I don't care. I am done with Mackenzie Alexander, and I've been done with Bashaud Breeland as well, because we have Cam Dantzler on the bench. Because we have Cam Bynum, a converted safety, on the bench. Because Chris Boyd is also on the bench and has looked okay at corner as well in the preseason. As a whole, Minnesota Vikings, bold prediction of the week. Greg Joseph will hit a career-long field goal. I like this prediction. I think this is a very good prediction because why? Because of the Detroit Lions. Greg Joseph, I mean, they gave up a couple big. Greg Joseph's longest kick field goal was against the Detroit Lions the last time we played them. The longest field goal in NFL history was against the Detroit Lions this year. Let's continue that trend. Greg Joseph will hit a career-long field goal. I believe his longest is 55. Will he hit a 56-yarder? I don't know. That's a long field goal, especially Nah, he's going to hit it. He's going to hit it in Detroit. It's just going to happen, and you're going to see those fans mad. So I think it will happen. Greg Joseph hitting a career-long field goal, likely near the halftime of the game. Final prediction, Minnesota Vikings will win this game with a comfortable 31-20, 11-point win over Detroit Lions. 31-20, Minnesota Vikings will win this game with a win that is more than one score. I believe the only other time that happened so far this season was against the Seattle Seahawks. So it's very comfortable to finally be able to get a good win for the Minnesota Vikings. I would love to see it happen. Vikings 31-20. Detroit scoring 20 is not what you want to see. Detroit scoring 20 is bad, but against this Vikings defense, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I wouldn't be surprised if Jamal Williams goes over 150 rushing yards and TJ Hawkinson also gets over 100 receiving yards. If they play their cards correctly, that will happen. Minnesota Vikings 31-20.